Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Liberace Technologies Rasman Snowboard. That's right, Chris Rasman's pro model. This board features Mervin's C2X camber profile, which is a smaller rocker between the feet and a longer camber section underfoot. This is going to give you more play between the feet, but you're still going to get independent camber zones to pop with, and it's going to make it a little bit better for powder float, as well as ease of entry into turns too, to an extent. This board is available in 157, 159, and 161. I rode this board at Arapahoe Basin on a sunny bluebird day with moderate to high winds. There was warmer temps, you had chopped, chunder, wind-blown ice at the top of the mountain, and perfect hero snow on the groomers mid-mountain and lower, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. This is a stiffer all-mountain deck. It's not a plank, but it's noticeably stiffer. You do have some very small sweet spots out by the tip and the tail kick, as well as that little flex point right in the middle where the C2X just conjoins the two camber sections with that reverse between the feet. But otherwise, it's a stiffer board. The torsional flex is very minimal, but it does lend itself that when you are twisting this board, you get more power out of it. When it comes to stability, this is probably one of the more stable boards from LibTech that I've ridden. You just don't feel anything underfoot. It's still lively, but chatter's just completely killed off. In fact, the only time that I felt anything with it, I was riding just super wind-blown, hammered ice. Like nothing would have dissipated. It was just frozen death cookies and frozen corduroy. So you just go over it and you just hear that zipper and you feel it underfoot. Otherwise, in slushy, choppy, chundery snow, it pushed through everything. Hero snow, I never worried about it. It speeds on a groomer. Never felt anything with it. This board is just super stable. This board has super snap. It's really easy to load that C2X up, and when you roll back on the tail, it just disengages and pops you. You're gonna launch off everything in your path. And if you've ever seen how Chris Rasman rides, you understand why he needs this like that. This board just wants to ollie slow signs, cat track gaps, side hits, rollers, families, whole family reunions. In fact, if just fat skiers, like 70 of them, you're just gonna clear them all. This thing is like the Evel Knievel board of pop. You're just gonna be able to jump the Grand Canyon with it. Now, when it comes to jumps, I didn't get to hit anything big at all. Like, I got to hit what constitutes a jump at a basin, and all I ended up doing was going higher and further than everyone else with this board that day. This thing snaps off the lip, and it just sends you, and if you've watched Natural Selection or any of the Man Boys edits, you understand that Chris Rasman can send a jump, and this board fully sends a jump. In fact, I would never worry about hitting any size feature with this thing at all, ever. You're just gonna pop and go to the moon. You wanna butter this thing? I hope you go fast and you have a lot of muscle. Yes, there are sweet spots in the nose and the tail, and that's where you want to aim to press it on, but even those don't have a ton of give. So you're basically leveraging this board and just pushing all your weight into the tips, either the tail or the nose, to get it to lock in. And when you do, it's going to fight you the whole time. It's going to want to set itself down. So find some steeper terrain, find some fresh snow, and really just manhandle this thing. When it comes to jibbing, this isn't a jib board at all. I mean, let's just put that out there. Yeah, you're probably going to be able to do some really weak nose and tail presses on it. That's about it. And when you go sideways, it's more of a balancing act than it cradling around the feature. You're just basically teeter-tottering. On top of the fact, you want to try to aim to either be more under the front foot or the back foot because of that C2X profile. If you're right between the feet, you're fighting that reverse camber in there already. And it's stiff, so it's going to basically kick you one way or the other. Just be aware of it. It's not a jib board at all. This board just has raw power when you're carving with it. It's swift and powerful from edge to edge. You just notice right away when you transition from your toe to your heel, it locks in, it grips, and it wants to drive. When you're really on your back foot and you're just hammering into that center of the board, loading up that rear camber section, it just locks in and wants to swoop through the carve and lay a trench. Short, tight, quick carves, long, hard, drawn out carves, deep, laid over carves, it doesn't matter. This board's gonna do it all, and when you're on edge, you just feel how damp this board is, and it lets you cut through everything. You never worry about it washing out. You never worry about it getting kicked out. It just wants to keep on carving. Who's this board for? The powerful all-mountain freestyle guy. The first thing you're gonna notice with this board is it's got some girth to it. There's some weight. Like, I don't normally notice boards being thicker or heavier. This board is. Noticed it right away. And that just translates to how this thing rides. It's powerful, it's snappy, it's lively, it's damp, it crushes chunder and chop. You don't have to worry about it. It lays a trench. It's a board that's designed to ride smooth in variable conditions. Overall, in my opinion, this is what the E-Jackknife always wanted to be, but never lived up to. This is like a more aggressive version of it, and that's fine. You look at how Chris Rasman rides. You look at the terrain he rides. This makes sense. This is a true pro model in my mind. It's designed for the guy that's riding it and the terrain he's riding. It's not going to be a board for everyone, but for those that understand what this board can do, I think they're going to absolutely love it. This is a lot of board. It's going to force you to be a better rider. It's going to force you to bring out your A game, and you're going to have to be more powerful and more assertive. Comparable boards: the Capita Mega Merc, the Wired Devon Walsh, the Jones Ultra Mountain Twin. Binding recommendations: the Bent Metal Transfer, the Ride A9, the K2 Formula. This has been my review of the LibTech Rasman. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.